Many people, when they start with Sleight of Mouth, are trying to figure out all the patterns at once before applying them in real life, and they try to learn everything in theory before doing anything for real. And this is a classical problem or mistake in many fields, I think, not just in communication. People who try to gather too much information before actually using the tiny bit they could already be using to start gathering feedback about what they need to improve. So from all of those patterns that people get crazy with because they never know what should I say at which moment, or when that person said this, was it a consequence pattern or was it another outcome or whatever. In the end, I would argue that you only need just one when you start. When you really start from nothing, you have zero knowledge, you haven't been practicing with that, or just a little bit but it is very inconsistent. People don't really listen to you when you want to persuade them about anything, or you want to use conversational hypnosis, but people don't really change that much. You don't really make any bridge into their conscious barriers and conscious defenses. In all of those cases, there is just one of all of them you need to focus on. And before telling you to build up some more suspense, before telling you actually what it is, I will just say that you can't know where you need to go without really understanding, acknowledging, and accepting where you currently are right now. People usually don't accept where they are. They want to pretend they already have an advanced level of foundation when they don't. They just don't. I started practicing music like 2 years ago, and I noticed the pattern even in myself, pretending I knew way more than I actually had at my disposal. And luckily I had a good teacher who was figuring that out, and he could make me chill out and noticing and understanding, no, it's not going to be that fast. You need to acquire all the foundation first. And in Sleight of Mouth, people presuppose they can just wing it right away like this, using all the patterns at once without having the basis of, pacing and leading, calibration skills to figure out where your interlocutor is at. Are they even listening to you or not at all? Those are all the foundations. If you pretend you are way more advanced than you really are and try to use things that only advanced people can use, obviously it's going to be disappointing because you're not going to get the results those people are getting. So the main pattern I would say you need is to forget, it is really to forget about everything and just focus on reality strategy, but more specifically not with other people, because this pattern usually is presented as, oh, clarify what other people are doing inside their head. I would argue that you need to do that with yourself at first, figuring out what is happening into your own head when you are interacting with somebody. Elaborating basically your thought process to figure out what are the thoughts, the things that are going through my head and my physiology as I am trying to use a Sleight of Mouth or any kind of verbal change techniques. What goes through your mind? What is your outcome when you use Sleight of Mouth? Is it just to prove people wrong? In which case it is normal if people attack you back because you have been the attacker first. Is it more to help others, but from a perspective of I know everything so they have to listen? If you come with such a big ego, obviously people are going to put up their resistance if you pretend you know everything better than them. So many things can happen inside your own head as you are trying or attempting to use Sleight of Mouth that may not make them work at all. And not just with the intention, really with even the physiology. Do you feel your throat being constrained? Do you feel you have some headache? Do you feel some fear in your belly because you're scared of not knowing what to say next? What is happening in your whole physiology when you use Sleight of Mouth? Is it something like fear? Is it something like I'm disappointed because I thought I would master it right away, I don't? What is really going through your head and your whole body? And the more understanding you have of your overall thought and physiological process as you are interacting, the better you can clarify what is the main simplest thing that is missing right here. Or maybe are there any kind of specific words and ideas I keep getting stuck with, or specific type of person I keep getting stuck with? Maybe you can use a Sleight of Mouth very effectively, but there is this one specific person that you just never have the edge over, in which case I invite you to check the document in the description. On the first link, you will have a complete process to figure out what to say to which person at which moment. And for example, what do you say to yourself when you are about to use that in a conversation to make somebody change, or you attempt to show some positive side to somebody else and they don't really listen? What do you say to yourself? Do you say, shit, I have to move faster because they don't listen? Or do you say to yourself, oh, whatever, they're just stuck-minded, they won't listen anyway? But what do you say to yourself, basically? Because I will tell you, the main goal, the end goal, the final goal is to be so focused on the other person that you even forget about what's happening into your own head, about what's happening into your own body. You may just be attentive, in tune with your kinesthetic sensations, your gut feelings, or just one simple word, the very first thing you hear in the back of your head when this person talks about their relationship problem, their weight problem, anything of that sort. The very first thought that pops up is usually the thing you need to say. But if you are too much buried into too many thoughts, too many things in your head, you won't have the mental clarity to have those unconscious signals that lets you know what to say next. So having complete awareness of your own thought process, really thorough clarity and calm into your head and into your body, being well, breathing peacefully, then your body, your physiology and your head are in the right state, in the right position to convince anybody to use a sleight of mouth, to use conversational hypnosis, anything like that, because you come from a state of mental clarity and not from a state of impatience or having your thoughts cluttered with too many worries. And this idea of being so focused on the other person that you even forget about yourself implies to completely let go of control. Yes, you won't know what to say. I never really know what to say when a client comes in before starting the session. And I never know what to say, let's say 5 minutes ahead. I know what to reply to what he tells me right now because I listen from a mental open space where I just keep my mind quiet and then I listen and I can really articulate the best message for them, for their unconscious mind. But I don't even know what I'm going to say 5 minutes from now. If I start over-intellectualizing what to say next after like 5 minutes or to make him go to the end of the session, if I over-intellectualize that, I just lose the connection with his unconscious mind or her unconscious mind, and I don't reply the best thing possible ever. However, when you are in such a calm state that you just let your unconscious mind reply and you forget about all the worries and what if he doesn't change, or what if what I'm saying is not received properly, when you just forget about all of those worries, you heal them from the inside, you get the garbage out, and then you focus on the other person and you will figure out what to say. You will always know what to say because you are in the moment connecting with them and not into your head overthinking about what should or should not be said. If you want to better articulate what to say to whom at which moment, the document in the description will drastically help you, because it is basically a description based on the profiles you are encountering of people and based on the specific language patterns they are using when they show resistance, when they are being aggressive with you, what to reply in which circumstance, with which person, in which context, all of that. You can download that right away and I will see you in the next video.